I don't care if what I'm about to say hurts your butt, but the Greek mythology that we remember today is all thanks to the Roman Empire. Now, before you cuss me out, hear me out. So yes, we all agree that the myths were born in Greece, but the versions that most of us recognize today were shaped, retold, and spread by Roman writers. Couple of examples. The essay of Medusa that turned her into a gorgon, Daphne turning into a laurel tree, Icarus falling from the sky, Venus rising from the sea. Many of the details that made these stories unforgettable come from Rome, especially from Ovid's Metamorphoses. So maybe the Greek myth did not become immortal on its own. Maybe Rome made it impossible to forget. Ovid's Metamorphoses gathers around 250 myths into one continuous cinematic poem. And for centuries, it became the go-to source book for artists, painters like Titian, Rubens, and Bernini, just to name a few. So these artists didn't always had the capacity to read ancient Greek, but they were all reading Ovid's Latin version. When they chose a scene, a pose, or an emotion, they were often staging Ovid's version, not the older original Greek version. And that made Ovid's retelling the visual standard for that Greek myth supposed to look like. Roman writers didn't just translate the Greek myth, they changed them in ways that stuck us emotionally. Let me give you an example. Think about Apollo and Daphne's story. In the earlier Greek versions, Daphne is a huntress who rejects men and chooses a life with Artemis. Ovid adds the famous detail. Cupid shoots Apollo with a golden arrow, which makes her fall in love with Daphne, and he shoots Daphne with a lead one and makes her reject love. That's the version painters love. That's the version most people recognize and remember. And those Roman names, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Saturn, became the default in Western art and literature for centuries. And in medieval Renaissance Europe, Latin was the language of schools, churches, and books. Ovid's Latin was accessible. Homer and Hesiod's Greek was not. Also, remember, Christian writers even read Ovid's myths as moral allegories, which kept them in circulation for hundreds of years. So the myths that survived in popular culture traveled through a Roman filter before reaching us. The Greek myth may have been born in Greece, but it reached the modern world through Rome.